All right. Well, hey, welcome to the 344 show, the 5th episode today on Friday, February 3rd. Today I've got Tanya Bugbee with me, and as I was watching that countdown timer
I
roll,
love it.
I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I think we need a liveaholics class because
Well, it
I mean,
made me smile. I'm like, this is perfect because I'm going live with you smiling because I'm like, oh,
yeah,
that's so cool.
that's but there's this all these little details that go into this stuff, right? And
Yeah,
and so I'm like, all right, how many lives have I watched today? I watched Lauren sermons, right? And I just my brain and yours, right? And we just like
I know.
and all of a sudden there's just so much content. And but you know what? The thing is that it is so much fun, right? It's like the lives, even though we don't get like a bajillion people, it's still like accessible, right? Here we
Right.
are.
Yep.
And so here we are, right?
Here we are.
And I've invited you on today
Yeah.
to pitch your stuff, right? Like, let's hear it. Who are you selling to? Like, and what's the pain that they have? So let's
Yeah.
just get right into it.
Okay. So what I do, and I know there's a lot of coaches out there, so I'm going to say it. I'm a business coach. I am a
Okay.
good business coach. I help professional business owners, typically smaller end business owners. I help real estate agents, lenders, clients I have, roofer, landscaper, an attorney, an accountant. Those are my clients.
Okay.
And right now I have a lot of real estate agents.
Okay. Now, local to San Diego or all over?
No, all over,
Okay.
because being a realtor or being a roofer, my roofer's in Texas.
Wow. Okay.
I have a real estate agents in New Hampshire, Florida, Texas, Seattle. Business is a business.
Yeah. Okay. So what's the common thread between them that attracted them to you? Like what's the pain? What are they suffering from?
Well, some of it is, and again, across the board, it's, oh my gosh, we're in a recession. How do I economy proof my business? How am I going to make what I made last year through COVID? I mean, realtors made a boatload of money over COVID.
Yeah.
Right? Lenders with all the refis, right? So how am I going to repeat that in 2023 or 2024? Interest rates are going up, or whatever that is for a roofer, for an attorney. The economy is the economy, right? So how am I going to economy proof? How am I going to build a really strong foundation so that the economy doesn't affect my business as much? A lot of people don't have a strong foundation.
Okay.
So they come to me with, I want to make more money. I want to have a better pipeline. I want to see a pipeline, of business.
Okay. And so somehow you realized that there were things that they could do, that they could be coached on, that were independent of these macroeconomic factors.
Right.
Right. And so that they could figure out how to do that. So that's fascinating to me. I mean, like,
Yeah.
how did you figure this out? Like, how did you, I mean, and I don't know. I mean, if you could share an example of something, I'd be really interested to know, like where that coaching comes into and where these external things, like sometimes sales, we just get into this ruts of like, well, this is beyond my control. Right. I just have to suffer. Right. And you're saying that's not true.
Mm-mm.
All right. So let's hear more about that. Like,
so I want you to interrupt me if I get winded, right? So how I learned about this is I went through a divorce, right? So I was living in Texas. My ex moved to Maine. I have 2 young kids. So I'm a single mom, no help. And I'm a real estate agent that has always had discretionary income. Never, if I was on the bottom of the ladder, I was fine. Hired a coach. Listened to my mother for the first time in my life and hired a coach. Right. My coach is my hero. She got me through my divorce. She got me off the couch eating ice cream. And I grew the second largest real estate company in Better Homes and Gardens, Gary Green. There were 72 realtors and I was number 2.
Wow. That's something.
That's my coach. She is my hero. And that company recruited me in to start coaching.
Okay.
And I said yes, because my kids are now going to college because they were like 12, 13. Now my kids are in college. They both went to college in California. One went to Pepperdine, one to USD. And I said, yeah, because the company's in San Diego. So I'm in. I followed my kids to college.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, right. So you had you killed it in real estate. Yeah. Now, I'm surprised you got out of it because that can be a lucrative business if you're.
It's not my passion. Yes.
Okay.
And people will say, why aren't you doing it? Look at my clients are making literally $400,000, $500,000 a year. That is not anywhere close to what I am making.
Okay.
Right. I don't love it the way I love
Yeah.
coaching. What my coach did for me is what I wanted to give back and do for other people.
Okay.
And yes, I make a living at it. I'm a single gal in Southern California. I have a mortgage. I pay my mortgage. You couldn't ask me to switch.
Okay. Gotcha. So you got coached, you killed it in real estate, but like, oh, my heart's not there. Right. So you move to San Diego and you get involved with the coach, their business.
Yeah.
And this has become your life's work, if you will.
It is. Yeah.
That's totally rad. All right. So what's your approach? Like, lay it on us. Like, how does it work? Like, what's the process?
Well, first I need to know where they're at. Like, what are they really suffering from? If it's a new realtor, they don't know what to do. You don't learn what to do in real estate school. You get your license and then it's like, here you go. I got my license. Now what? So if they're new, I want to make sure they're rookie of the year. Like, that's what I want them to be, is to, rock rookie of the year. They're not going to make $500,000 their first year in real estate. If they come to me and say, I'm only making this amount of money, I'm stuck, how do I grow? Right. So I have to meet them where they're at and know where they want to go. Mm-hmm. Or I want a team. I have so much business, I can't do it all. I need to grow a team, don't know what to do. And then then I will help them, hire the right buyer's agents, the right transaction coordinator, whatever that is. With my roofer, same thing. This is what I make year after year. I want to double my income and I don't know how.
Okay.
And
I don't know how to I don't know how to hire. I don't know how to get how to feel good about investing in the business and growing it and being confident that that it's actually going to pay off.
Yeah. So the first thing is mindset, because they don't have the mindset that I can do it. Right. Okay. And so we got to work on the mindset. And I've never been on a roof. I'm not an attorney, so I'm not mentoring them on how to be an attorney or how to be a roofer. Right. I can with real estate. Right. Yeah. But how to hire, how to have the confidence to delegate. When somebody says to me, say the attorney says, Tanya, I don't want to delegate this out. Nobody can do it as well as I can. That's a self-limiting belief. That's what's keeping them living small, not being able to delegate the housekeeping. I don't want you cleaning toilets anymore. Delegate that out and go network and go find clients.
Yeah.
So they can't see the forest through the trees because they're so into, I'm not making the money I want to make, or whatever that is.
So I'm going to go clean my toilet to ruminate on that challenge.
Versus go hire someone to do that and you go network or whatever that is for your business. Yeah.
All right. So it sounds like you helped ground them in their expertise somehow and change their mindset so they feel like what they offer is really valuable, so they can then focus on that piece and feel comfortable moving.
And and exceeding customer service. Like, they pay you to sell their house. They pay you to fix their roof. I don't know if you remember, but I went through a phase where my bathtub toilet sink was all clogged. I had no bathroom in my house.
No, I missed that story, but it's a good one.
I paid the plumber to get my bathroom to work, right?
Yeah.
So that's what we pay them to. But what do we do that we don't pay them for? What's the exceeding customer service? What are you going to do to knock their socks off so they send you referrals? So they're bragging on Yelp or YouTube or TikTok about you, right? Mm-hmm. My plumber underwowed me. He came and did what I paid him for, but literally left his fingerprint marks literally all over the toilet, on my door. I just had my house painted. I had, but that wasn't wowing me with customer service, right? Seriously. But with the roofer, he now makes sure his team, because now he's got a team. What are they doing to wow the customer? They leave the place cleaner than they left it. If they've got these beautiful roses, cover the roses so that the bricks aren't falling on her beautiful rose plants. Yeah. He now really wants to make sure when he walks away, he gets one hell of a review. Not just he fixed my roof, but he took care of my rose bushes.
Yeah. So bringing them up into a modern, that was one of our catchphrases today. It's like, world's changing, right?
Yeah.
And it is changing right now before our very eyes. And we have to be brave. We have to be creative. We have to sit there and say, okay, I might fall on my face, or I might not really want to necessarily go with the flow of this change. But if I don't, where do I end up? So you're going to help them really step into that and counsel. So what is that? So if you're my coach, right?
Yeah.
So Tanya, I'm ready. I got to get unstuck. I got to get moving. I got big goals and dreams, and I want a vacation home in
Right.
Playa del Carmen, and let's go. Right. So
Yep.
what does it look like to work with you?
Well, I onboard my clients, right? So they have paperwork. What do you want? Like, what's your why? Like,
Okay.
what do you really want? I want a vacation home in Greece and pay cash for it.
Okay.
Right. Or I have true story. I have a client. I mentioned it this morning. I have $100,000 worth of credit card debt. I want it gone.
You want it gone.
Right.
Yeah.
So I ask really good questions. They fill out a form. We get on. In the beginning, we coach a little bit more, longer calls, a little bit more often, because the longer it takes for me to get to know them. Right. There's this runway. I don't want the runway to take 6 months.
No.
Right. So we kind of coach a little bit longer. I had a call this morning that was a little over an hour and 15 minutes. I don't watch the clock, but I don't want to just say, oh, our time's up. I'll get to know you more next time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I create an action plan. I really do specifically. That's my superpower. It's like,
okay,
now here's the map. Do you want to go from San Diego to New York? There's 12 ways to get there. Right. We're going to pick the one that works for you. And if I chose wrong, we're going to pivot really fast and go on another route.
Okay.
But I create a customized road plan for my clients to hit their finish line.
Hey, and look at this. We've got speaking of pivot, right? Kristen is with us over on YT. Excellent. Glad to hear that. And she's coming at us from her business page, which is fantastic. So thank you, Kristen, for jumping in. And obviously you too, David.
Yeah.
maybe LinkedIn Australia is, or New Zealand, sorry, is a little bit better. Than
so Trevor, you want a vacation home, right? Then we got to roll up the sleeves and create a plan, and then make sure that you're saving money for that, right? Not just right. Like a lot of clients at the end of the year go, I just made 200,000 and I don't know where it went. Right. I want my clients being in charge of their money and knowing where it's going, not at the end of the year going, I have no clue where that money went.
Yeah. Okay. That makes total sense to me. All right. So you have this onboarding process, and then I presume the work begins, right? At some level. So how long are you going to be? Do you usually work with somebody really closely? How long does that usually take?
Oh gosh. I have one client now. We're probably celebrating our 7th year together.
Wow. Okay.
Because we crossed the finish line. Hey, I got the vacation home, but what's next? Oh, well, now I want a team, or now I want my second vacation home, or COVID hits.
Okay.
And now I really need you because I don't know how COVID's going to affect the industry.
Right.
So sometimes it's a 6-month contract. It's a year contract. With some of my clients, it's just month to month, and month to month means 7 years later.
Okay. Okay.
So it depends on the client and what their goals are.
Okay. So if you're my coach, how often are we talking? Are we daily? Are we monthly, weekly? How does that work?
We are 2 or 3 times a month. Again, depending on, some of my clients want 2-hour calls. There's accountability in there, and I'll explain that in a minute. Some of my clients want more accountability. So I coach one gentleman the first 3 Fridays of the month at 8 a.m. He has those calls. And it's 3 times, and our calls are about 40 minutes. And again, I don't watch the clock, right? Okay. I also want to knock my client socks off. Give them a good plan, give them value. All right. And part of that is we have a private Facebook group, so they can all synergize together. So, all my clients have that space together. And once a month, I have a guest speaker. And so we get together on Zoom. I've had Ariel Lee on. She was the financial planner and talked about financial planning. I've had Chris Hennessy's coming on next month. I have a social media gal coming on this month. So that's how I hopefully add value to my clients.
Yeah, that sounds terrific. Okay. So if somebody wants to call and sign up with you to have you be their coach, what's your availability look like? Do you have slots or you?
Yes, I have slots because I have big goals. I have a coach. I want to double my business. So yes, I have slots.
Okay.
And it's easy. If you see me on Facebook, DM me. If you're, go to my LinkedIn, there's a link to, either DM me or click on the link. There's a contact form.
Okay.
So all you got to do is send me a smoke signal. I'll find it.
Okay. Perfect. All right. So you're totally available.
Yep.
You know who you're after. You know why you're there. The outcome is I get what I want, for Pete's sake, right? I want that vacation home. I want the $100,000 debt paid off. I want to continue to move this finish line farther and farther out so that I'm continually improving, growing, and, you know, reaching these goals that I have for myself. So awesome, right?
Yep.
And look at this. You must be streaming out to Facebook, because I'm not. And we got a comment from Lisa here, which is fantastic. I love it. Thank you, Lisa. You're the best. All right. And that'll be my first Facebook comment. I got to get that hooked up. All right, Tanya, this has been great. I'm so thrilled that you came out. I didn't see a whole ton of questions, so we're just going to call it good, because it is basically 4:00, and that is my agreement with you're welcome. Absolutely. I'm so thrilled that you're here. So the way this is going to go is I'm going to click a count up timer, and that will mark the end of the show. And then we are out of here. All right, everybody. Have a great Friday afternoon. Take care.